Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farms, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Upgrade your business with Shopify, home of the #1 checkout on the planet. Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning fewer carts going abandoned and more sales going cha-ching. So if you're into growing your business, get a commerce platform that's ready to sell wherever your customers are. Visit Shopify.com to upgrade your selling today.
This is a Rogue Media Network podcast. This is Central Texas Life with Ann Harder.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Central Texas Life. And there's nothing that speaks life this time of year more than a production of the Nutcracker. So we have Maestro Beau Benson here with us. You are going to be conducting the Waco Symphony Orchestra for the Nutcracker performances that are coming up on the 14th, Saturday evening, and Sunday afternoon, the 15th.
That is correct. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, well, it's really, it's one of those traditional things for families. And you don't have to have little kids to bring, but what a great thing. What a great gift to give a child great music by Tchaikovsky and dance. And anyway, so let's just talk. Yeah. Let's talk about the Nutcracker. So you've conducted it before. I know recently you had what we would call an emergency Nutcracker.
Yes, an emergency Nutcracker. Yeah, I got a call last Wednesday. A conductor had gotten ill.
What happens?
They are like, what are we going to do? We have this orchestra contracted to come play here, and they got my number and gave me a call. And fortunately, I have this week off, so I was able to just hop up to Oklahoma and do the Nutcracker and come on back home and start my vacation. And it was an adventure.
That's great. I mean, being instant in season and out of season. I mean, it's really great that you were able to do that and help them out that way. So you've conducted the Nutcracker before, I take it.
Yeah, and I knew it was coming this year. I just didn't know it was coming that soon. So I was really glad I had started looking at it. I had a concert. It's the time of the year when, for musicians, when right now I'm kind of in the eye of the storm. December and November to some extent, because of the preparations that go into everything, are just, you look at a musician's face by the end of December and there are just dark circles under their eyes from all the gigs and everything, which is wonderful and I love it. But I think I've had 5 concerts in 3 different states in the last 2 weeks. So which is fun. It's so much fun. I really love it. But I'm definitely, I'm looking forward to that holiday break once the final curtain goes down.
Well, and of course, you'll be right here at home in Waco for the Nutcracker performances at Waco Hall. And this is the second year the Waco Symphony has decided to add a performance. We always had done it just on that Sunday afternoon, which sells out. I mean, you would expect. But okay, well, let's just offer another production, which is that Saturday evening. Dress rehearsals earlier in the day. The sets are up. Everybody's good to go. Why not?
Yeah. I mean, ballet is a huge undertaking. I mean, there's, like you mentioned, there's just so much that goes into it. The music alone, it's a huge score and quite complex and wonderful music. But with the drops and the costumes and the dancers and the local dancers meeting up with the professionals who come into town, I mean, there's just so much goes into it that it's hard to just show up and do it once and, okay, everybody go home.
Yeah, that's right. Well, and it's such a fabulous experience, not only for the audience, obviously, but for the children. There are quite a few local children who will be taking part.
Yes, I'm told that there are 79, which I believe is a record. I'm told is a record number of local dance students who are taking part in this one.
Yeah, all kinds of actors, what little snowflakes, and what are some of the?
Oh, I think they're bonbons.
Yeah, the bonbons,
and
yeah.
angels, and they're so cute.
Right,
It's
and
adorable.
You've got it is. I mean, it's just a cuteness overload, and of course, it's obviously one of the big things that the Waco Symphony does through the year. It's not part of our subscription series, but it's separate tickets, and the tickets are on sale. But
Right.
you want to go ahead and get them as soon as you can.
Yes, yeah. It was. I mean, last year it was very well attended. I mean, sold out maybe. And I was just, looking down from the pit. You can look up into Waco Hall, and you see everyone up in the audience. Like, wow, there are a lot of people out there,
dressed up for Christmas, ready
Yes.
to enjoy the holiday. And of course, it is part of the bottom line for the Waco Symphony, we might say. But we've got some other fun things for folks who come. You're seeing one of the Nutcrackers here. Yes, you can buy Nutcrackers.
Is it the Nutcracker Market? Is
They
that
call
what
it
they
the
call
Nutcracker
it?
Market, and I'll be there one of those days. It will either setting up or something. I'll be involved with that. But yeah, and they try to sell out of their Nutcrackers, and what a great memento to take home with you as well. But then there are some other fun things that they're doing for some of the children, and it is. After the Sunday performance, you can meet and take photos with the Sugar Plum Fairy and Cavalier Prince in Roxy Grove Hall. And they've got a special Kingdom of Sweets package that includes a souvenir ornament. It's a separate ticket that's required for that, recommended for children ages 5 and up. Parents that accompany don't have to have a ticket, but obviously we need a parent or guardian to accompany. So, yeah, what another fun way to make a special memory for a child.
Yeah, I know that I always like to get an ornament, on our tree. It's kind of become the chronicle of it. We have the ornament from the year we got married, and the ornament from our first child was born.
That's right, baby's
And
first Christmas.
Yeah, lately it's been the Nutcracker. This is the first Nutcracker, though the Nutcracker when the kids came for the first time, when my own children came. And that sort of thing,
Yeah, your emergency Nutcracker.
Emergency Nutcracker, yes.
You got to remember that one.
Yeah.
From Oklahoma. Oh, and that's great. Well, let's talk a little bit more about the music. I mean, you can just say, all right, imagine a Celeste, Sugar Plum Fairy, and immediately, everybody's got it in their heads now. When you're conducting that, what does that mean to you, to this iconic Christmas score?
Well, it's funny actually. You mentioned the Sugar Plum Fairy. That I was just telling. I forget one of my kids' friends was over recently, and they're taking piano lessons, and said, "Oh, I'll play for you." And they played Sugar Plum Fairy tune on the piano, and I was like, "Have you ever seen that live?" Like, "Oh no, I haven't seen that." Well, let me tell you, that's one of the hardest ones to dance, and the tempo has to be just right, or else you make the dancers have a really bad day. So. In a lot of ways, it's one of the simplest numbers out of the ballet, but I'm always just
because it's
sweating
so quiet and very
Yeah.
simple, seemingly.
Yeah, but I know that it's extremely challenging to dance. That one and the Cavalier variation, those are the two that when I started doing this are like, okay, these two, there's flexibility in the other ones, but you really need to nail these two or else it makes people's life very difficult. So I'm always trying really hard to get just the right tempo on those two especially.
Well, and it's very important. Ballet Frontier is the ballet troupe, the professionals who come in, and of course they're working with local children as well. I remember, and they're fabulous dancers, really amazing dancers. They've been doing it, 5 years now?
I believe this is year number 6. It's either 5 or 6.
All right. Okay,
Yeah.
well, so we've had kind of a long association with Ballet Frontier. But I remember some of those dancers saying they had not performed with a live orchestra till they came to Waco. That they're used to rehearsing, obviously, with recorded music, but there is something different in the dynamics with not meaning the loud and soft dynamics, but the dynamics of working with a live orchestra.
Oh yeah, it's totally different. There's nothing like it. I mean, it's the same with musical theater and opera. I mean, you can do it with recordings, but I wouldn't recommend it. It's just feeling the energy between the people in the pit and the people on the stage, and in live performance, you never know which way things are going to go, and it might feel right to go a little faster right here or a little slower, and it's just the spontaneity and the vibe that you get there's nothing like it.
So how much rehearsal time do you get with your musicians and the dancers?
Well, in a non-emergency situation, for the Waco Symphony, we'll have 3 rehearsals and then the 2 performances. So I'll have a rehearsal with the orchestra to kind of lay everything out, get everything.
And how many pieces will be part of that orchestra?
30 something, I believe.
Okay, so it's not huge.
No,
because they're in the pit.
Right, we're limited.
There's not enough space.
Right, yeah. I wish we could fit more down there, but I think fights might break out. So no.
Somebody with a bow, in the eye.
No, matter of fact, the one I just did, the first rehearsal, someone accidentally whacked their stand partner with their bow, and it was like, oh man, this bow costs thousands and thousands of dollars. Please don't, And so yeah, you really get
problems you don't imagine.
Yeah, you really get crunched in there, and so you're kind of limited by just the size of the pit.
Mm-hmm. So you'll have those rehearsals and then the dress rehearsal that comes on Saturday morning.
Yes. So we do. There will be one orchestra rehearsal. Then the second rehearsal will be with the folks who run the ballet company.
Right.
Chunglin and Enrica Tsang are, the artistic director and artistic advisor. They come ahead of the dance group. And they listen and let me know, hey, that's going to need to be a little faster, a little slower.
Sure.
Because they know the choreography inside out.
Mm-hmm.
And so we can make some adjustments then. So on the third rehearsal, which is a dress rehearsal, the dancers all there, everyone's there, and we just run the show. And, things should go like clockwork at that point.
So this may be a little inside baseball ballet question you may or may not. But is there like a set choreography that most Nutcracker troupes do, or is there flexibility in their directors, as you mentioned?
So there are sort of different standard choreographies, but they're all a little, it's kind of like different schools. There's the Balanchine choreography. Okay. There's the, I think there's a Russian choreography. And I'm not exactly sure the pedigree of the one that Ballet Frontier uses, but I know that it's tempos tend to be a little different than, say, the Balanchine choreography. I'm doing some excerpts with dancers later in the month in Temple, and they use the Balanchine choreography, and some of the tempos are slower, so I'm going to have to flush my mind out after.
You got some adjustments to do, adjustments to make. Well, you mentioned Temple, so let's go ahead and talk a little bit about, and that is your gig now with the Temple Orchestra.
Yeah, I have many plates spinning.
You do.
I do the Waco Symphony Youth Orchestra, and I'm the artistic director now. This is my second year for the Temple Symphony just down the road, and also the Oregon East Symphony in Pendleton, Oregon.
Okay, right.
I think this is year 11 for me on that.
That's a bit of a travel, yeah.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. And your day job is?
I teach at Midway High School.
Yeah.
So you can catch me doing cafeteria duty when
really,
I'm not studying scores. Yeah.
You are just remarkable. You're remarkable, Beau. And Central Texas is so fortunate to have you here. I know I've come across you at Showcase of the Stars.
Oh yeah, we go way back.
We do, and that's of course the top graduates from Midway in the spring. They get to honor a professor that they are. You are a professor. You do have a terminal degree, so yeah, I can call you professor. But a teacher that really has been a lot, and usually you're on the call list.
Well, we're lucky in the arts that we, number one, in band, choir, theater, orchestra, we tend to see the students for multiple years.
Yeah.
So I'll have students that I start teaching in 6th grade, and I literally watch them grow up until they graduate as seniors and become like family members along the way. So we're fortunate we get to forge those kind of bonds with our students, and then they become our colleagues, which is one of the most rewarding things for me as a teacher is when my students become my colleague and I get to work with them professionally, and I've gotten to do that a few times over the years, and that's a really rewarding experience.
Oh, I know, and of course you mentioned the Waco Symphony Youth Orchestra, and I'm telling you that if you close your eyes, you would think you're listening to the Waco Symphony. It's not like in any way you would think, oh, these are kids learning how to play, at all.
Yeah, they're pretty
They're
amazing.
really amazing.
If you don't tell them it's hard, then they don't know, and then they'll
They
just do
just
what
go
you tell them
after
to
it.
do. Yeah.
They just go after, and then there's some prodigies out there like the
Oh my
Moons.
gosh,
I'm thinking about
yes,
the,
Yeah,
I mean,
Han and Hai Young Moon.
Han and Hai, who actually were featured with Waco Symphony because as young people they're so amazingly talented.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I hope to be like them when I grow up one day.
Well, just amazing that you get to do this for a living. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
to make beautiful music and to thrill audiences as the Nutcracker will
Yeah.
this year. I know, and just so happy to have this opportunity to sit and talk to you, kind of pick your brain a little bit about this. But again, these performances are going to be Saturday, December 14th, 7 o'clock at Waco Hall.
Correct.
And then Sunday afternoon at 2 on the 15th with Ballet Frontier. And there will be brave toy soldiers and snowflakes and bonbons and
Oh yeah.
the Sugar Plum Fairy.
Mm-hmm.
And you can make arrangements to have pictures made that Sunday afternoon with the Sugar Plum Fairy and our brave Prince.
Yes.
You see the Nutcracker. Pick
Yeah.
up your Nutcracker as well.
Yeah.
Just great time for everybody. Show's 2.5 hours with a 20-minute intermission. So
Yeah. Yep.
make plans
That's
accordingly. And of course, parking they'll be able to use 7th and James. I would imagine their church is providing
I think so.
parking. So yeah, I mean it's just going to be a wonderful experience. Maybe it's something that you do every year. Maybe it's a first-time thing, but we've got our tickets, so
Yeah.
ready to be there.
Yeah, there are so many. I think of concerts as having sort of a series of dials that are turned to different numbers. Like there's an excitement dial, and there's a nostalgia dial, and there's a novelty dial.
Yeah.
And this one, the Nutcracker, it just has all the dials kind of turned all the way up because there's generations. I think of my mother-in-law. She did ballet growing up, and so she always went to the Nutcracker in Houston, and then she always took my wife when she was growing up, and now she's getting to go with my children or grandchildren. So there are all these sort of things bound up in it, generational connections, but also just the score is gorgeous. I mean, it's beautiful music, and it's a feast for the ears and the eyes because the visual element of the dancers and the scenery and everything. There's what's not to like about the Nutcracker.
I know. A couple of years ago, I had a friend who she was in her late 50s, and she said, "I've never heard a live orchestra."
Really?
And I said, "Oh, really? Well, we need to fix that." So I brought her to the Nutcracker. I mean, and she was just like a child,
Aw.
And
That's fantastic.
it's absolutely. Well, I like to end these visits with a little questionnaire. It's similar to the one
Okay.
the late great James Lipton would use on Inside the Actor's Studio. If that rings a bell, I don't know. But I'm going to just ask you some off the wall questions. The first is, what is your favorite word, Beau Benson?
Oh, my favorite word? Oh my goodness. I can't. How about Riz? Right now, all the kids are saying Riz.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which means?
It's kind of like short for charisma.
Oh,
Like
okay,
you might
okay.
riz somebody up. And then there's Skibbity Ohio Riz. There's there's all this Gen Z slang that
Oh, wow.
that I'm ensconced in every day. If you go 24 hours without hearing Skibbity Ohio Riz and you're a teacher, then it's a red letter day.
Okay, I'm learning something new for sure. What about this? May also be from that group, but what is your least favorite word?
No, I don't like being told no.
Yeah, I've heard that before
No.
from other guests. What turns you on creatively, emotionally, or spiritually?
I always feel like I'm at my best when I have something that I'm working towards, something new, like a new challenge, and I find myself coming up with it's. My wife's like, "Are you coming up with something else to do?" You know, I have so many plates I'm spinning, but when I have a new something I haven't done before, like this year I did music and audio design for the haunted house that the theater does at Midway High School, and that was something I've never done before, but that was a really neat challenge.
Fun, yeah.
And so that was a really engaging project for me.
Okay. Well, what turns you off creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
Probably monotony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, your life is anything but that.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. I'm going to ask a musician, what sound do you love the most?
Just the sound of an orchestra.
Yeah.
I just, I'm my
Even the tuning?
Even the tuning.
You know, to me, I think that's special. That means things are starting. Things are going to happen.
Yeah. Sometimes you hear the tuning though, and you know which way the night's going to go. You go, okay, it's going to be one of those performances, or it's going to be one of those performances. Yeah, like you can tell, this is going to be good, or like, maybe.
Let's get this tuning right.
Yeah. Let's
That's
take one more
hilarious.
A. Yeah.
So your least favorite sound? I mean, I don't guess that's.
Oh gosh. I don't like hearing people upset. I don't like hearing.
Right.
Even when I'm out in public or something, I hear a child that sounds like they're being traumatized. It just is. I don't know. My dad instincts kick in.
Yeah.
I want to go solve the problem for them.
Let's fix this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. All right. What other profession would you like to try or have tried?
Before I went to graduate school for music, I taught Latin, and there was a time when I was considering seriously going into either classics or like ancient languages, and that's something that I am still very interested in. I got to audit a Greek course not too long ago, and that was a lot of fun for me. I've always felt like, having taught Latin before, it's a big hole in my knowledge that I don't understand Greek, and so I've been trying to rectify that a little bit. I have a really funny but kind of long story about how that all came about, maybe another time.
Okay. Well, but that's good. I find musicians tend to think mathematically too, and be very good at math, and so languages that would all make a lot of sense. Well, what profession or job do you know you would not want to have? No thanks.
Probably something like an accountant, or something very cut and dry. I'm sure that actually there's probably a lot of creativity in accounting. I have no idea.
Well,
honestly.
hopefully not too much creativity.
Well, I don't,
But
something
anyway,
where it's the same.
Some people have gone to jail for.
Well, that's true. Yeah. Something that's the same every day.
Yeah,
and,
right.
I really like
Assembly line type.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even at Midway, I get to go to different campuses every day.
Oh,
and
yeah.
even just breaking up the day like that and getting
Yeah.
to go work with the middle school kids and now work with the high school kids really makes it much more. It makes the time go by a lot faster for me.
Yeah. I get that. One last question. What do you want to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Well done, good and faithful servant.
You're doing all things well, from what I can tell. Dr. Beau
hopefully.
Benson, Maestro Benson. This is just so much fun for me to get to talk music and to talk about the ballet, talk about the Nutcracker again, Saturday the 14th and Sunday the 15th. Get your tickets. You can go to info@wacosymphony.com. I believe that's right.
I think it's wacosymphony.com. And then I think probably the links are right there.
Yeah. Anyway, you can buy your tickets online. Bottom line,
Yeah,
whatever's available.
Forgive me if I got the website wrong.
I wrote that down from
Okay,
the web. From
I'm sure you're correct.
What I saw.
Yeah.
But info at anyway. Maybe that's not right.
If you
But
Google Waco Symphony, I'm
Waco
sure it'll
Symphony,
come right
you
up.
can find it. You can
Yeah.
find it. Nutcracker. They're on Facebook. I mean, it's all over the place. So, yeah, it's going to be a wonderful
Oh, yeah.
weekend
Yeah.
of Nutcrackers. Yeah.
Yes.
So thank you again, Beau, and thank you for being with us. Hope to see you at the symphony. Bye-bye.
Central Texas Life with Ann Harder is part of the Rogue Media family. Be sure to check out our other shows at roguemedianetwork.com. Please rate this show 5 stars on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, or anywhere you get your podcasts. Join us again soon for more Central Texas Life with Ann Harder. This has been a Rogue Media Network production. Elevate your experience with Grenco Science, the leaders in cutting-edge vaporizers. Whether you're at home or on the go, our sleek, powerful devices deliver smooth, consistent hits every time. Quality you can trust, innovation you can feel. Grenco Science, take your vapor game to the next level. Visit us at grencoscience.com.